All right, welcome back, everybody. As we make our way through the back nine, we've reached hole number 13. 13, in my opinion, is one of the hardest holes out here, more visually intimidating off the tee. There is plenty of room out there, but as you see, especially on this right side where you'll get a lot more lost balls than on the left side, um, golfers that can hit the ball 240 yards from the tips and about 210 yards from the tips can reach these trees here. So as you see, there's plenty of room up at the end of my cone for me to hit driver, but I always aim for the right edge of this left bunker, just in case I hit one to the right. Like we said, from a long-term standpoint, even if I hit it down the left and make five, it's better than hitting it into the right and making six at best. So it's always better to borrow a little more room on the left side. But like I said, pretty wide open tee shot. This is one that you really have to be confident standing over and hit it towards the right edge of that left bunker. Right, a lot of golfers struggle hitting this green in two, so I kind of recommend anywhere down this right side to avoid this bunker that's in the fairway. It's just off the fairway. That bunker's no fun, but if you can easily carry that, then I'd obviously recommend keeping it up the left side. The same thing on this hole. You want to be short. I'd rather be in this right bunker than this left bunker because of the way the green slopes. And we know there's a huge ridge in the middle of the green, right? And then general green slope. It's very flat in this front part. It just kind of tilts a little bit from left to right. It's the main reason I don't like being in this bunker because it tends to be a fast bunker shot, whereas if you're in this right bunker, you're at least going uphill. And then we have some pretty steep slope in the back of the green. We also have protection back there. Right, and then the rest of the green, pretty moderately sloped from back to front. All right, so the rule of thumb as you're hitting your approach shot onto the green, if the flag is in the front, it's better to be a little bit short of the green. You cannot go long if the flag is in the front. Same thing, um, if the flag is in the back, you don't want to hit it over the green. You'd rather even be on the front edge than to be long of this green. Very fast chip shot. So adopt a par five strategy for this hole. It is a par five for the ladies, but even for some of the men, I say adopt a par five strategy where you're playing to the front of this green. No matter what, unless you have a good number, unless you feel confident with the club you're hitting to the back of the green. You don't really want to miss this one left and right pin high. It's pretty difficult chipping. Take your four or five and six at most and get out of hole 13. All right, 14. What a challenging golf hole. Anytime I make three on 14, I'm extremely happy. And so what we have here, we have a long iron approach or a hybrid approach into a green where you cannot be long no matter where the flagstick is. So a lot of the times I'm hitting it to the front edge of the green and maybe adding 5 yards, even if the pin is in the back, because you cannot go long on this hole. Not a bad area to chip from, right in front of the green either. I want to avoid this bunker on the left at all costs. It's just a very difficult bunker shot. It's hard to get the elevation, and it's very hard to play, especially to the front part of the green. So keep it below the hole and miss a little bit right, if anything, and you should walk away with no worse than four. All right, hole 15 is a hole that we should be able to take advantage of. Longer hitters have no problem reaching this green in two, and just about every golfer can reach this green, in regulation. And so you see for the longer hitters, they're not always hitting driver. You want to avoid these bunkers, especially this bunker on the left. I know it's pretty flat, but I don't like being in that. I pick a club that can't reach this bunker on the right, and even if I miss it right a little bit, it's still a much easier shot than flirting with these fairway bunkers. Find the fairway, hit your next shot up top, or we'll talk about a strategy for going for the green. All right, we'll briefly touch upon those golfers from the end of the fairway who go for the green. Now remember, this cone represents a golfer with a PGA Tour level dispersion, and it's telling you in order to not hit any golf balls out of bounds on this right side, we have to aim for the left edge of the trees that you can see from the fairway, right? That's going to make you hit more balls into this left bunker and into this left rough, but the one thing we have to avoid is hitting it out of bounds. We'll make fives when we hit it in this bunker, sometimes fours. We'll make a lot of fours from just in front of the green, and then we can make some threes by hitting it straight down that line. If any of you are wondering where the hip music is coming from, it's coming from this house about 80 yards out from the fairway. Very nice house, but they could turn their music down just a little. So we have to do our best to avoid these fairway bunkers for golfers that are not going for this green in two. Pick a club that you're going to be more accurate with, and it's better to have a little longer of a shot in. Now, similar to all the other holes, I want to play this one to the front part of the green. It's not bad if you're pin high left over here, but if you're pin high left over there, that means you've picked a club long enough that can reach this out of bounds. So even if I'm a little short, I hit a lot of golf balls that end up in this bunker here. Not too hard of a shot. This green is also sloped from back to front, kind of moderate in the front, and it kind of gets severe as we get towards the back. It's deceptively severe in this part of the green. So it's one of the faster putts on the golf course. All right, so keep it below the hole, play to the front of the green, aim it a little bit towards the left side of this tree, and you should have a good chance for birdie and make a lot of pars on this hole. We're on hole 16. This is a hole where I try to avoid this whole right side between the fescues, the bunker, the trees, right? It's better to miss a little bit left on this hole than a little bit to the right. Right, so I'll typically aim it at the left edge of this bunker, and for me, a lot of times my ball will end up right in the flat here, and I actually get a good visual of the flagstick. So if you hit it long enough and can take advantage of the fact that this fairway is pretty severely sloped from right to left, right, you should almost get in an area where you can see the flagstick. This is the largest green at Huntington, so it's pretty useful to know where the flag is. However, a good reference point, if you cannot see the green or the flagstick from the fairway, is this gap in the trees. Right, you can see there's a gap in the trees. It's pretty easily viewable from the fairway, so it's a good reference point. This is the largest green here, but it does have a pretty severe false front. Now kick your ball back, and then the rest of the green is pretty flat. It's just generally sloped from back left to front right. Right. There is a mound back here to where if the flag is towards the back of the green, you do not want to go long. It's not a fun mound to meander. And this left side can get deceptively steep over here. So if you can't reach the green in two, leave yourself just short of the green. Pretty simple pitch shot. Just make sure you cover the false front. Runs about a fifth of the green, a little bit less than a fifth of the green. All these bunkers around the green are okay to play out of, so you can be aggressive on your second shot. As long as you don't miss it too far offline and hit it in the fescue, you'll have a reasonable chance for an up and down. Hole 17 is probably the most challenging par 4 out here, just from the length, the need for accuracy, the tight landing area on the approach shot, and the severely sloped green. As you see my line, I have to take it up the left side of the fairway, and even, as accurate as I can be, I'm going to miss the fairway sometimes. Really avoid hitting it way right here. Obviously left's no good either, so right's a little bit better than left. This is a 3-shot hole for many, as I said. And so by keeping it out of these left trees, you're really setting yourself up to hit it as close to the green as possible for your third shot. The approach and third shots on this hole can be somewhat tricky. We want to avoid this bunker short left. That's a difficult bunker to play from, especially because this front part of the green kind of slopes away from you. This right bunker's okay, provided you don't have a chance to fly it because it'll kick it out of bounds. You never want to go long. Rule of thumb is when the flag is in the back, I'll always play to the center of the green number. Maybe I'll add 2 or 3 yards at most. All right, this whole area runs off on the left. A shot to the middle of the green. You won't have more than 30 feet. Keep it below the hole. You'll have a nice uphill putt. Those are my best tips on 17. Don't go long. Don't go in this left bunker. This left bunker's no good. 18 is one of those holes that is also pretty generous off the tee. Just want to try to avoid these bunkers on the left. Those tend to be a little deeper than the ones on the right. If you happen to find a fairway bunker, take enough loft to get out of it and make sure you don't hit it in these next bunkers. Pick your line, commit to it, hit a solid tee shot. You'll have a good chance to end the day on a good note. The approach shot on 18's pretty harmless. I will try to avoid going long. And if the flag is on, I'd say the right third of the green, right, or farther away, I won't miss to the right. If the flag's on the left side of the green, I don't mind if I missed it to the right. This bunker over here on the left, we're going to try to avoid that bunker. We've all hit it in there. It's just a tricky shot with the green sloping away from you. This green does have a little bit of a false front. All right, it's severe in the front. And then the rest of the green is fairly flat. It almost kicks forward off of this false front. And then slightly back to front for the rest. Like I said, if the flag's on the right, I won't want to miss over here because this is a very steep hill to chip over, hard to get it close. But if the flag's on the left side of the green or the middle of the green, it's not that hard of a shot to chip from. You're chipping pretty straight up the hill. Leave it just short of the green or play to the front third of the green and leave yourself a nice, easy two putt to end your round. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and hope this helps take a few shots off your score.